Hi everyone, so today you're going to complete your notes on using intercepts. So you have your whole sheet of paper, you're going to fold it in half like I did on the screen, and then you can cut the top tab so that you have three tabs, three different sections. The first one is equation, the next one is finding intercepts, and the third one is graph. So once you're ready, you're going to flip open your first tab just to take a look at the equation that we're going to be working with. So for our examples, we're going to use 3x minus 2y equals 6. So now you're going to flip open the middle tab, the Using Intercepts tab. This is where we're going to take our notes and actually do some examples. So the first part is you filling in the top half. So find the part on your notes that says x-intercept. You're going to fill in the notes like they are on the screen. So the x-intercept is the x-coordinate of a point where the graph crosses the x-axis. At the x-intercept, y equals 0. If you take a look at this graph, the x-intercept is right here, where the graph crosses, where the equation, or the line, crosses the x-axis. So now we're going to move down to y-intercept. The y-intercept is the y-coordinate of a point where the graph crosses the y-axis. At the y-intercept, x equals 0. Again, taking a look at the graph, here's the y-intercept. This is where the graph crosses the y-axis. So in this case, it's the point 0, 4. Your x value is 0. Now you're going to go down to the before we go down to the bottom, let's check for understanding first. So take a look at this graph. What is the x-intercept of this graph? I'll give you a second to think about it. Okay, hopefully you found that the x-intercept is negative 3. If you take a look at where it crosses, it's right down here where x is negative 3. What about the y-intercept? What do you think the y-intercept is? Hopefully you got 5. Taking a look at your y-axis, see where the graph crosses the y-axis? It's at the point 0, 5, so your y-intercept is 5. Okay, now we're going to move on and actually solve to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So now you're at the bottom portion of your notes. So the x-intercept. To find the x-intercept, let y equal 0 and solve for x. So you're going to take your equation 3x minus 2y equals 6, and we're going to plug 0 in for y, since it's the x-intercept that we're looking for. So it should look like this when you plug it in. Copy this down in your notes. And now we're going to solve our equation for x. So we have 3x minus 2 times 0 equals 6, which is really 3x minus 0 equals 6, because 2 times 0 is 0. Which is really 3x equals 6, and if you solve, divide by 3 on both sides, you get x equals 2. So your x-intercept is 2. On your graph, this will be the point 2, 0. Let's do the same thing for the y-intercept. When you solve for the y-intercept, you're going to let x equal 0. So whichever one you're solving for, you're letting the other value equal 0. So to find the y-intercept, let x equal 0, solve for y. So again, here's our equation, 3x minus 2y equals 6. We're plugging in 0 for x, so we have 3 times 0 minus 2y equals 6. 3 times 0 is 0, so we have 0 minus 2y equals 6, which is really negative 2y equals 6. And if we want to get y by itself, we have to divide by negative 2 on both sides, and we get that y equals negative 3. So our y-intercept is negative 3. This will be the point 0, negative 3 on our graph. So now we're going to move to the last tab. You're going to flip up the graph tab. At the top, it gives you these directions. So the first thing you're going to do in order to graph is plot the point on the x-axis. So if you think back to the equation, our x-intercept was 2. So on our graph, we're going to plot the point 2, 0 to represent our x-intercept. So that's going to go right there. And now we're going to plot the point on the y-axis. So if you go back to where you found your y-intercept, we got the y-intercept is -3. So this will be the point 0, -3. 1, 2, 3. So there's 0, -3. And now we're just going to draw a line through the 2 points. So take that straight edge, your ruler, whatever it is, draw your line, put your arrows on the end. So now we have graphed the equation by using intercepts. So let's recap what we did. First, we found the x-intercept by plugging in y as 0 and solving for x. Then we found the y-intercept by plugging in x as 0 and solving for y. We took our x-intercept and our y-intercept and we graphed them, and then we drew a line through the 2 points. So that is how you graph an equation using intercepts. I want you to answer these 3 questions on the left hand of your ISN, the left-hand page. So the first question, what is the difference between the y-intercept and x-intercept? Question number 2, how can you find the y-intercept from an equation? So go back to your notes and explain in your own words how you find the y-intercept. And finally, question number 3, how can you find the x-intercept from an equation? Go back to your notes and explain how to find the x-intercept. You can tape that notes page to the right-hand page in your ISN. You will have to fold it in half a little bit to get it to fit. Answer these 3 questions on your left-hand page and we will review tomorrow. If you missed anything, just go back and watch the video again.